Good morning, Granite Bay. I'm Erica Peterson.
And I'm Annie Loomis.
So today we're going for a little bit of a different type of bulletin. We're going to do an unscripted bulletin, a little bit like Chelsea lately.
But there is no Chewy, so more like a talk show.
Just a regular talk show. So first off, we would like to start off with congratulating the boys football team.
Good job, guys.
On really fighting towards the end and showing Rockland who's boss.
That is correct. We never give up. Way to go, Grizzlies.
Fight on.
So next we have Lip Dub. Naveen, Noor, and Care interviewed Mrs. McKinney about her previous Lip Dub experience and why you guys should go this year.
Let's see what they have.
Roll.
Hi, I'm Mrs. McKinney, and last year I participated in Lip Dub, and I really had an amazing time. I loved working with the kids, and I really hope that everybody comes out and supports Lip Dub this year. Lip Dub taught me last year that there's a lot of kids on this campus that I don't know but are super cool, and I got to work with amazing kids through student government, through media that I never met before, and they really sort of treated me like their family, and we had a really good time together. The funnest part about doing Lip Dub was the actual filming part of it. We just had a really fantastic time and so much fun, a lot of inside jokes going around, a lot of crazy stuff that nobody saw behind the scenes, and we just had a great time and did it, and I was running around everywhere and so was everybody, and I think the best part though was the end with the panoramic view was pretty cool. In this year's Lip Dub, I hope to see almost the entire school out there. I think that we had a lot of people, but we need everybody, and I think it would just make it better.
Thank you so much for that story, ladies. We really hope that all you Grizzlies will either come and support us, be in the Lip Dub, or be a talent for Lip Dub, because we know you all can do it.
That's right. It's a great event. All of you guys should come out and support.
It's a little bit like singing in the mirror.
With no words.
I'm Erica Peterson.
I'm Annie Loomis.
Have a great day, Granite Bay.
Two times two, does anyone know the answer? Does anybody? Emmett, go ahead.
That's mathematics when a ball bounces off of a wall when you cook from a recipe book when you know how much money you owe.
No. That's all wrong, Emmett. Get out of my classroom right now.
Emmett is looking for an outlet to express his emotions through, but unfortunately can only communicate via lip dubbing. This has caused more than a few problems throughout Emmett's life.
So Emmett, how's your day going? We can't be friends if you're not going to express your feelings to me, because that's a big part of a friendship, and if you're not going to be willing to do that, then I think I may as well leave.
And it feels like I am just too close to love you. There's nothing I can really say. I can lie no more.
Making my way downtown, walking fast, faces pass and I'm homebound.
Good morning, Granite Bay. My name is Mr. Wycamp. Ripple Effect Week is coming up during October 22nd through the 26th, and we are looking for students, teachers, and staff to share their personal stories of inspiration, bullying, racism, and hard times, disabilities, or any other story that can be used to teach and affect others in a positive way by bringing awareness to our campus. Mrs. Gibbons and I have an open door policy for anyone who wishes to share their story. You decide how to share your story, whether it's confidential or in the open. Sometimes we don't fully appreciate the people around us, so help us open the eyes of everyone around you and make a positive impact by sharing your story. Also, to promote awareness to the negativity of false labels, names, and stereotypes, students, staff, and faculty will be wearing white t-shirts with these phrases printed on them. We are encouraging you to take part and wear a false label, name, or stereotype that has impacted you and turn a negative into a positive by showing the campus how prevalent this problem is. So to sign up to wear a t-shirt, come see Givens in room 507. To share your story, come see me in room 506 this week. Thank you, and next is a message from Mr. McGuire, our principal.
This is the Granite Bay dumpster. It looks like a dumpster, and unfortunately they wouldn't let me bring trash into every classroom, so you'll have to take my word for it. It smells like a dumpster. We throw garbage and trash away here. We don't put on theatrical productions here. This is a dumpster. This beautiful building is the Granite Bay Theater. This doesn't look like a dumpster. It shouldn't smell like a dumpster. It certainly doesn't look like a garbage can. However, I just spent 4 hours on Sunday with 7 other people making this no longer look like a dumpster or smell like a dumpster. So after spending all of that time here this past weekend with my helpers, I realized that I didn't want to be embarrassed about how this looked when guests came to the Granite Bay Theater anymore. So this area is now off limits at lunchtime. You cannot eat here. Right now, if you want to, you can eat here. You can eat here. You can eat here, but not here. One last note. The families, students, adults, myself, even my wife, spent part of that 4 hours scraping 14,756 pieces of gum off of the steps of this theater. We were unanimous that we probably shouldn't allow gum at Granite Bay High School because for some reason, gum can't seem to find its way into the trash cans. It seems to just fall out of mouths. While I'm not prepared at this point to ban gum at Granite Bay High School, I'm that close. So if you've got to chew gum, please make sure you use a garbage can because I don't want to scrape 14,758 pieces of gum off of these steps ever again. Thanks.
Wait, if what he said is true, that means on average, every 30 seconds, 2 pieces of gum are spat on the ground.
It was the day after Mother's Day. My son fell off of his bed. He's 2 years old, typical little toddler horsing around on the bed. Fell off the back of his bed onto the back of his head and gave himself what we thought was a concussion. Took him to the emergency room, and we were advised to get a CAT scan, which we did, and we were shocked to find out that my son had a brain tumor, which was, as you can imagine, devastating. To find out that your toddler, your firstborn, has some kind of condition that at that point you don't know is life-threatening or not. He was admitted to the intensive care unit. He spent 11 days there, and during the course of that first 5 days we were in tears every day, not knowing if it was a cancer that was throughout his body or just an isolated tumor. It was determined that it was just an isolated tumor and they needed to operate. And during the course of his stay in the hospital, he obviously needed to have that tumor removed in the form of a brain surgery. And during that brain surgery, they knew that they might possibly need blood. And they basically had on hand 2 units of blood. It turns out that the surgery was postponed, and so they didn't use that blood. And of course, we come back in 2 weeks later, and he actually has a surgery, and they need another 2 units of blood on hand. My son it was a successful surgery, completely recovered, a benign tumor. We're so absolutely glad of it. And during that time in the hospital, my son, he's only 2, can't really quite understand what's going on, really. He thought that what was wrong was in his arm. He had what he called a pokey. He had the needle in his arm for intravenous, fluids and such, and they would come in and give him blood tests and withdraw blood from him, and that for him was the scary part. No pokes, no pokes. I don't want any pokes. When it was all said and done, when we were out of the hospital, it was just something I knew I wanted to do. I knew that twice a year here at Granite Bay High School we do a blood drive, that we ask our students, ask our community to come on out and give blood. And I knew it was something that I wanted to share with the students at large. That I know it can be kind of scary to lie in one of those little cots and to have a nurse take blood from you. But I just can't emphasize enough that this is such a necessary thing. You don't realize how much blood is needed. Some of you sitting out there right now might be of a rare type that somebody needs, that is absolutely essential, whether it's a simple operation or something as serious as my son. We were fortunate. My son has a very common blood type. In fact, his blood type is the same as mine and as my wife's. However, not everybody's that fortunate. Some people have rarer blood types and might be in a little more difficult circumstance in needing blood but not having it supplied. Most people don't know their blood type. So I would urge you to give blood just from the standpoint of perhaps you or somebody sitting out there who has a type that for somebody else needs that rare match. And you just, as I said, you just never know. We were certainly relieved to know that the blood was on hand. That wasn't an issue, certainly. But for a little guy weighing 35 pounds to need 4 units of blood, each unit every time you give blood, you're giving a unit. To need 4 units for a little guy like that, just extrapolate that over a larger person, an adult, and how much more they might need for such a circumstance, such a surgery. I would urge you, plead with you. I would love for this year, for my son, the joy I have in having him back, to give blood. I do it every year, whether it's in the fall, spring, or both, and would love for you to just take part in that. On October 25th, all day from 8 o'clock until 2, sign up with Miss Warfield, sign up, give blood. I know it might be scary, but if my son and my family can live through and survive something like that, I know that's something you folks can do. Something to consider is that you're saving a life. Had other people not given blood at some point, that blood would have not been on hand for my son's surgery. That blood would have not been on hand for any number of other persons needing surgery that day. It's easy to think, oh, I'll just let the next guy do it. I'll let her do it. I'll just hope. But then when you find yourself in that circumstance where you're worried about a tumor, you're worried about a surgery where they're going to go invasively into your son's head and remove something that's not there, you don't want to have to worry about, do they have enough of my son's blood type on hand? Having that just relief of not having to worry about that was just one more thing we did not have to worry about. So if you're listening to this and wondering, what's in it for me? What do I get out of it? Can I guarantee that someday that you'll need blood? No. But someday your son might, your daughter might, your wife might, your mom might, somebody you care about may very well need it. And I can't stress enough how life-altering it can be, life-saving it can be. So I'd ask, don't think about what you get out of it, but really, as corny as it sounds, think about what you're giving.